2 years ago, the Kindle Scribe launched with high hopes from fans, but while the hardware was solid, the software left much to be desired. Fast forward to today, Amazon not only addressed many of those issues, but also added a refreshed design and a standout feature for annotating ebooks called Active Canvas. Let's check out why I think the Kindle Scribe became one of the easiest to recommend note-taking e-reader on the market. The overall design of the Scribe didn't change too drastically, and it still got the same high-quality aluminum backside with rounded corners and edges, making it comfortable to hold. It also still has the rubber feet on the back, so it sits securely on the desk. And its asymmetrical build with the grip area on one side is still the same as before. What changed, however, is how Amazon styled that grip. Instead of using one color for the whole front, the bicolor design separates the grip and the display. There are two color options available with the same gray color option as before or greenish-blue color option. The bezel around the screen, however, is now always white. It's a fairly bright white, which is a bit of a throwback to older Kindle models because those also started out this way. I'm sure there are conflicting thoughts about it, but I like the new style and I think it makes the Scribe appear lighter and nicer looking. The weight of 433 grams didn't change and it's still one of the lighter front-lit e-ink tablets on the market. It's still available with 3 different storage options, ranging from 16 to 32 up to 64 gigs. For just reading and note-taking, the smallest option is usually more than sufficient. If you like to use audiobooks more often, one of the larger options might make more sense, however. The included premium pen is an important part of this refresh. It's now a single-piece design with a rubberized eraser that feels surprisingly analog. If you already own the original Scribe, you can upgrade to the pen separately, though at a premium price for a pretty hefty $76 or 86 euros. Writing on the Scribe still feels great, thanks to the paper-like texture and low 20 milliseconds latency. Still one of the best in the e-ink space. And believe it or not, after 2 years on the market, the 10.2-inch 300 ppi frontal display on the Scribe is still something almost nobody else is offering. People were speculating that Amazon's exclusivity deal with e-ink would be over after a year or so, and the competition would quickly catch up, but that didn't happen. The only other e-ink tablet that offers a 300 ppi frontal display and is available to purchase in Western markets at the time of recording is the black and white Bigme B1051. And that's a device I generally wouldn't recommend for a couple of reasons, so it's not really a viable alternative to the Scribe. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, the new Scribe is still leading the pack when it comes to frontlit quality, with roughly 120 nits maximum brightness, a color temperature adjustable frontlit, an auto brightness mode with light sensors, and the best uniformity in the e-ink tablet space. There is really not much to wish for when it comes to reading comfort. Just one thing to note is that the white frame glows just ever so slightly when turning up the front LED. It reminds me a bit of the remarkable Paper Pro, but it's less pronounced, so not a huge deal, but still different than with the original Scribe. So let's talk about software, because that's where Amazon made a lot of important changes over the past 2 years. One of the things the company was criticized the most for were the handwritten sticky notes inside of Kindle ebooks. To be fair, it wasn't a bad solution to make sure the notes stuck at the correct position even after changing the text styling, but it also wasn't a very clever, creative or intuitive solution to use. With the new Scribe, Amazon adds the Active Canvas option within ebooks, which is much better, and this time it's industry leading in my opinion. This new Active Canvas feature makes use of the responsive layout of Kindle ebooks. You can't just start writing directly on the page, and that creates a box, and that box can also be resized, and the book text reflows around that box. And when changing text styling, that box sticks to the correct position. It's really very nicely done and makes the whole experience much better and quicker than with the sticky notes. I think that's an even better solution than how Kobo is doing it on the Ellipsa 2e, which is taking a screenshot to make sure the annotation is preserved even when changing text styling. The downside of Kobo's approach is that you don't see that note and it's only indicated with an icon when the text styling was changed. The Kindle Scribe completely eliminates the need to tap in another menu to open up a note. But there's also a downside that comes with the Kindle approach. You can't highlight something like you do in the Kobo Ellipsa 2e on the page. So circling a word, drawing an arrow to another portion of the page or something like that isn't possible in the Scribe. And moving the canvas around also isn't possible, but you can copy and paste its content to another one if you like to move it. So this solution gives a lot of freedom to write down your thoughts without running out of space too quickly. But if you became accustomed to using the sticky notes and like to continue using them, that's possible too. They are still available same as before. In early 2025, Amazon promises to add another new feature called expandable book margins, where you can pull additional space from the side of the display to write something in there instead of directly into the text, which definitely also sounds interesting and seems to aim to digitalize what you can also do in regular paper books as well. When comparing the notebook features of the Scribe software now with the initial release, there are a lot of useful additions compared to the market launch. Let's start with the notebooks overview, which lets you organize your notebooks in folders and subfolders, which is super handy if you use the Kindle Scribe for multiple things, like for school or at work, for example. When creating a notebook, you can select a template out of 18 available. You can also change the template later on, and also for individual pages as well if needed. Amazon added more pen options over time, so you get the pen, the fountain pen, the marker, the pencil, and the highlighter, each of which have distinct visuals. And there are 5 stroke sizes available with each of those. Same as before, the Scribe has pressure and tilt sensitivity, which is especially nice when using a pencil type. It's one of the best implementations of a digital pencil in the e-ink space and great for sketching. What's still missing, however, are layers, which would allow you to structure your notes in stacked layers on one page to quickly hide parts of the page for a better overview. They did add the notebook's page overview, however, which was missing when the Scribe initially launched. That's incredibly helpful when looking for something specific in a notebook. This overview can also be used for sharing, moving, and deleting pages. A great feature that was also added later is text conversion when exporting notebooks, which allows you to search for keywords in the export PDF file on your computer. Besides the active canvas, the other addition to the Kindle Scribe is the AI-powered functionality, like notebook summarization and handwriting to text conversion to tidy up pages a bit. However, these features are currently only available in the US, and there is no indication they roll out globally anytime soon. This limitation seems to be tied to the hardware, so even after changing the region settings or using a VPN, I wasn't able to access them on my international model. While these features aren't essential to the Scribe's core functionality, it's still disappointing to see them locked behind regional barriers. You can also annotate PDF files, which still need to be sent through the Send to Kindle function on the Amazon website to enable handwriting features. When the Scribe launched, that was a controversial necessity, and unfortunately, it's still needed. There aren't a lot of options in PDF files, but you essentially get the same pen features as in notebooks. You can rotate the view to landscape and use pinch to zoom to navigate the page, which works decently nice for e-ink. Besides all of those handwriting features, the Scribe is also a good old Kindle when it comes to reading books and listening to audiobooks. You can find all of your ebooks and audiobooks in your library, which has a couple of useful filtering and sorting options, as well as the ability to create collections to organize your titles. Inside of a book, you can change the text styling and save the layout as a theme for quickly switching back and forth between different layouts if you like. Besides the mentioned annotation features with the pen, you can also add notes the old-fashioned way of just highlighting text and adding a note with the QWERTY keyboard. The dictionary function opens up automatically when selecting a single word, with many high-quality dictionaries available to be downloaded in the library. You can also use the built-in Wikipedia function and use Bing to translate a word or even entire paragraphs. There are also more advanced features like the vocabulary builder, X-ray to get more background information about characters and places in a book, and Wordwise to show word explanations directly on a page without the need to use the dictionary. Audiobooks are supported only via Audible, so you can't use other stores or sideload audiobooks. Since there are no built-in speakers, you need Bluetooth headphones or speakers for listening to audiobooks. Same as everything else on the Kindle Scribe, the integration aims to be as easy to use as possible and is well done as a result. WhisperSync for voice lets you switch seamlessly between an audiobook and the corresponding ebook if you own both, which of course comes with extra cost. Unfortunately, the immersive reading mode that's available in the Kindle app, which lets you read along the audiobook, is not available at this point. What I probably appreciate the most about the Kindle Scribe is how well it holds a battery charge when in standby and how quickly it is to wake up even when not having used it for a while. You can tell Amazon put a lot of time and effort into optimizing the device for convenience. Just picking it up over the past 2 years, I honestly never had to worry about the battery being drained unexpectedly, unlike with some other devices in that space. When reading with the frontlet turned off and a page for an interval of 15 seconds, the Scribe manages an incredible runtime of up to 91 hours with one charge. However, with setting the frontlet to the maximum brightness, it goes down significantly to around 18 hours, which, to be fair, is still okay because that's much brighter than most other devices. And it's also a setting that's typically not needed in everyday use that often. Still nice to have if you do, however. So with adapting the frontlet to your surroundings, I'd say you can typically expect a runtime of around 30 to 40 hours. Taking notes will bring down battery life significantly though, so around 13 hours with one charge and the front light turned off when continuously writing, which should be enough to bring you through a day at work or school. So all in all, the Kindle Scribe didn't change much when it comes to the hardware. Amazon is calling this the new Scribe with a redesigned display. And that's really all it is when it comes to the hardware. The real game changer here is the new active canvas feature in ebooks. It lets you write directly on the page with the text reflowing around your annotations. It's seamless and far more intuitive than the sticky notes of the past. While it doesn't allow for freeform highlights like on the Kobo Ellipsa 2e, it's a step closer to bridging the gap between digital and paper books. And the promised 2025 page margins feature should seal the deal on that. When it comes to PDF and notebook features, Amazon took the foot off the gas, however. While they improved the notebook features quickly in the beginning, and they are definitely solid overall now, compared to the Remarkable 2 and other dedicated note-taking tablets from Books and Supernote, more advanced organizing features are still missing. But the other side of the coin is the incredible ease of use that the Kindle Scribe brings to the table as a result, which makes it easier to recommend to a wider audience than some of the more specialized devices out there. At the end of the day, the Kindle Scribe is a much better device now than when it initially launched. The Scribe is an excellent e-reader with great annotation features for ebooks, a high-quality build, an awesome display with the best frontlet in this size segment, and is pretty okay as a digital notebook as well. If you already got non-refreshed Kindle Scribe, keep it. There is no good reason to upgrade. The new software features are already available on that model as well after updating the software, as it should be. And if you like to get the rubberized eraser and a new pen, you can just get it separately. And even if you don't have a Scribe already but want to get one, you still might want to check out that non-refreshed model because it's a bit cheaper with the standard pen option and a great choice if you're on a budget. If that doesn't matter, then the nicer looking refresh model with the better pen is the way to go. What do you think about the Kindle Scribe refresh? Do you prefer the old look or the new one? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for your time watching, and I'll see you in the next one.